Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is myself, BR Madhusudan, here at your service and in the service of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and all of our guardians. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And Jai to our whole Sri Rupanuga Guru Bhagya ki Jai. To Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. And to Sri Vishwarup Prabhu, Vishwarup. How do we normally hear him being called? Vishwarup Mahasai, maybe. He Jai.
Mahotsava.
What? Mahotra?
Isn't it Mahotsa?
Yeah, no, that means a grand festival. Mahotsav, the Vishwarup Mahotsav. Give me 1 second, and I'll just find it on the map. Vishwarup Mahotsava, grand festival. Okay, we're having a grand festival. Kumkum Devi Nasi has just arrived. Well, she hasn't just arrived. So maybe we need to sit back a little bit, something like this. Okay. And maybe make it a bit brighter. I don't know. Good. I do not know. Okay, here we are. We're gathered together. Let us begin as we do with Vandanam. So first of all, Kumkum Devinasi, we gave our greetings to everybody. But Vandeham, Shri Guru, Sri Upadesamrita Kamalam, Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tan Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishatan Vitam Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvijay Namaha Bancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitam Avanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. All right, happy to see each of you. Happy to see you, Rasikananda Prabhu. We heard the news and happy to hear all the news. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj. And Chintamani Devirasi. Yes, thank you very much for mentioning it's the Mahotsav, but it's the Vishwarup Mahotsav, means the festival for Vishwarup. And I was just trying to recall in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishwarup Prabhu, I think he's referred to in Chaitanya Charitamrita this way. And by the way, Chintamani, we were thinking yesterday, because we thought, oh, I wonder whether today we will get some pictures from Jagannath Puri, from Chintamani, because one moment you're in Mayapur, the next moment you're in Delhi, meeting up with a pilgrimage group, and the next moment you're back in Mayapur for the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day. We thought maybe, okay, today she'll be in Jagannath Puri and sending us pictures. So we're happy that you do send us pictures and see you are remembered. You're remembered by many, and we appreciate everything that you're doing to keep devotees in touch. Oh, Chintamani to everyone. She's put something in the box here. Let's take a quick look. But some reason I have to download it and then find it. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. What happened? Date modified. Purnima today. Sorry, for some reason I had to download it. Vishi Vishwarup Mahotsav. Acceptance of sannyas by Prabhupada. Really, Srila Prabhupada. So this must be coming from the ISKCON or another calendar somewhere. All right. And Vishwarup, so we know who Vishwarup is the older brother in the Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And yesterday I was listening to to an audio which is posted on the web today on scsmap.com about Vishwarup. I did not finish hearing the audio. Today is the day. I'll get to hear the rest of it today. And Srila Gurudev was very affectionately expressing how Vishwarup yes, so how Vishwarup would go to Advaita Acharya's home in Navadip, because Advaita Acharya was wealthy, and he had his main home was in Shantipur. But in Navadip, he also had a home in Mayapur. And Advaita Acharya would, happily receive Vishvambar, means Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but when he was Mahaprabhu, he would happily receive Vishwarup, who is the older brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they would talk together Harikatha, and Vishwarup's nature was very renounced, and he just completely appreciated the Harikatha. And Nimai Sunda, the young Mahaprabhu when he's young, then Mother Sachi Devi would sometimes send Nimai to go and collect Vishwarup. Then he's late for his lunch. Go and bring him from Advaita Acharya's home. And he would go to Advaita Acharya's place in Mayapur and call back Vishwarup to come back to take his meals like this. But very affectionately, Srila Gurudev was expressing in this way. And we are happy to have Paramananda Prabhu with us. I saw somewhere, yes, we've come to the screen. And we're happy to have each of you with us, by the way, on an auspicious morning, the full moon morning here. And for some of you, it's still yesterday, which is Haridas Thakur's disappearance day, which was certainly here a day when we had much remembrance of Haridas Thakur. Morning, noon, and evening. So it's an auspicious time. So having you together with us for this auspicious time, and this day is when it becomes Sunday for some of you, but it is Sunday for some of us. Then this is the Vishwarup Mahotsav, and it's the last day of the 1 month long festival of Hari Smaran held at the Mat. And day for remembering the Lord's pastimes. And you are all aware, I think, that coming to Srila Guru Maharaj, we became very much more Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu Leela conscious than perhaps in our previous time in Krishna consciousness, where very much the emphasis was on Radha Krishna, on Krishna consciousness. And it's Srila Guru Maharaj who very much brought the emphasis, even though it just seemed a natural progression or natural continuation of our Krishna consciousness, emphasizing Mahaprabhu and Nityananda in the pastimes, as the prominent in the pastimes of the Lord that have given us our greatest benefit. So all of these recent days on the calendar, then they've been like special days for us in remembrance of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Srila Haridas Thakur, and now the Vishwarup Mahotsav. So Paramananda, maybe you could say something about Vishwarup Prabhu, if you're available. You seem to be parked somewhere in Japan. Dandavad.
Dandavad. Well, not so much is known about the elder brother of Mahaprabhu. In some places, he is considered to be the expansion of Sankarshan, which is also relate him to Baladev, and the reason why he appeared ahead of Mahaprabhu to, in some mysterious ways that only Mahaprabhu and Nityananda knows, help to set the stage for Mahaprabhu's appearance and for his lila at that time. And Maharaj already described what was written in Chaitanya Bhagavat, I believe. There is a little bit more of pastimes of Mahaprabhu with Vishwarup, and that's what Govinda Maharaj was actually quoting, that particular pastime. He was very fond of Krishna Katha since his very young age. He was very renounced, and he would spend most of his time in Advaita Acharya house, where Haridas Thakur was the frequent visitor, and also Madhavendra Puri with his sannyasis, his disciples and companions would often stay there. So naturally, he will go there for Krishna Katha almost daily. And then young Vishwambar will go and call his brother and take him by the hand and pull him from the assembly. And it's also described by Vrindavan Das Thakur that every time little Mahaprabhu would appear in the assembly of the devotees, everyone would feel unexplained joy entering their hearts. No one could understand why it was happening, but everyone certainly felt that. Because as we know, Mahaprabhu kept his identity hidden till quite late into his teenage pastimes, I guess. And some fortunate souls would recognize him, receive some revelations that who he is, and then Mahaprabhu would strictly prohibit those individuals from broadcasting their realizations. So, and as we know, later on, when the time for the marriage would come, and in India, it's all set. It's all planned out for you. When you're eligible time to get married, then everything is arranged. In fact, quite often they arrange marriages as soon as you're born. If you survived, maybe a year or 2 or 3, then the family has already arranged the marriage. So you just need to grow up and then get married. So in a similar way, they started thinking, oh, Vishwarup is becoming a young man and it's time to find a suitable bride for him. And when Vishwarup heard about that, almost immediately, he left home. And then he took sannyas and he became known as Lakshmipati Tirtha. And he just went visiting holy places, and that's all we know about his pastimes. But we also heard that one of the reasons why Mahaprabhu decided to go to South India, besides spreading the holy name, converting everybody into devotees of Krishna, because that's the stronghold of the Vishnu Narayan worshippers. And one of the reasons stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita is that he was very eager to find a place of his brother's departure, or basically to find out about his whereabouts. But again, it's a very mysterious thing, because he is omniscient Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knew exactly what was going on with his brother and where his brother went and the place he departed, but really it's all inconceivable. And at that place, he meets with Rangapuri, one of the disciples of Madhavendra Puri. The beautiful remembrance happens when they started talking, and Rangapuri observed Mahaprabhu, and he said, you must have some connection with Madhavendra Puri, otherwise how is that possible that you're showing so much ecstasy? And then Mahaprabhu said, yes, my spiritual master is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, Ishvara Puri. And that beautiful meeting is described how they spent days and days and talking about Krishna and ecstasy, and dancing, singing, fainting, crying. It was wonderful description. And then one peculiar thing, very sweet thing that Rangapuri mentioned when he asked, who are you and where are you from? Then Mahaprabhu is describing, oh, I'm the son of Jagannath Mishra from Navadvip. And Rangapuri said, oh, then you're the son of Shachi Devi. And he called Jagatma, the mother of the universe. And Rangapuri said, I had the great fortune to be there with my spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri. And I can never forget that prasadam she cooked, especially, specifically, mochakanta, the preparation made from the banana flour. It is all mentioned by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Anyhow, and that was the place where Vishwarup left the world. And that's all we know. And the rest remains a mystery. But one day we hear from our Guru Varga that all the mysteries will be revealed to us. We just need to desire to know that. But for that, we will have to become a pure devotee of the Lord and enter his world and his leelas, be under 100% under his protection, 100% embracing his guardianship, be humble, and etc. All the principles of Sharanagati will have to bloom in your heart. And I think Chintamani mentioned today Swami Maharaj's Prabhupada's sannyas lila, and that is also related to us because he did, and he was everyone knows he was a very close associate of Srila Guru Maharaj. So when he fed up with the world, and he actually expressed that. After he took sannyas, he expressed that in the letter of to Srila Guru Maharaj, when he said that I'm utterly disgusted with the human world or human beings, and I'm finding the animals to be more attractive. Auspicious arrival. And then he approached Srila Guru Maharaj for sannyas because many of his god brothers already took sannyas from Guru Maharaj, and he was the person to go. And naturally for Srila Prabhupada, it was like that, his old friend. But because of that, because of him being an old friend and involved very much with the family members, Srila Guru Maharaj hesitated. And he didn't want it because in India, it's a big thing. And it's like breaking a family, really. So Guru Maharaj suggested that because of that connection, family connection, he didn't want it to disturb anybody's minds, but he suggested to Srila Prabhupada to go to Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. And he explained very simple. He got mantra from me. He got sannyas mantra from me. So it will be just like you're getting sannyas from me. You're receiving the same mantra I gave him. And with his blessings, he went to Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj and then Vedanta Swami. And now we have Kumkum Didi, Shaleka Didi. They may add something to that. And Maharaj, of course.
Well, we have Kumkum right here, and so we can turn on her microphone. Sri Leka's greeting you there. And so, yes, super to see Sri Leka Devirasi. We were in your Bhagavad Gita class or the Bhagavad Gita class the other day, and we do pop in every now and again because you're the next door neighbor ashram to Vila Govinda ashram. And to many ashrams, but especially to Vila Govinda ashram. So we can ask Kumkum Didi, have you got something in your pocket to share? Everyone here knows they come to the screen, they need something in their pocket to share.
My Dandavat Pranam to all of the devotees, Maharaj and Paramananda Prabhu. So wonderful to know how reliant we are on you to speak and give us much enlightenment. And actually coming to the end of a month of festivities, actually we're just grateful to know that it's always a festival at Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat. So there's no need to feel like we're at the end of remembering Krishna, remembering the celebrations and honoring Prasad and hearing so much from all the devotees, from the scriptures, and seeing everyone become completely enlivened. Increased service, increased kirtan. So this learning more about Sri Vishwarup is one of those delights that we can count on in this association. And I'm really glad. I was just thinking, well, today is the Sunday BBBC. So I wonder why I don't see Srila Gurudev. And suddenly, at that instant, her name popped up. So I'm really grateful, and I'm wanting so much to increase that association. And I would really like to hear you say something, Didi. Everybody would.
And on Wednesdays, she's not Wednesday or Thursday, depending on your day. She's not generally with us because there is the Gita class in Salt Lake City Ashram. And there is also seated live Bimal Krishna Prabhu, generally during the Gita class too. Means seated on the Facebook watching, so seated together. And so we're always happy when we get the chance to pop in and see what's happening. Not see what's happening, to hear the Harikatha that's taking place then. So Srila Gurudev, find the button, press the button to turn on the microphone and let us hear from you. You've been invited by your god sister. You're almost, I never know who's senior, junior in that sense. All of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, I think each of you say each of the other is senior. But your god sister here, we're very happy to have her here and to have you here live with us seated on Zoom too.
My phone is making an annoying sound. One moment.
Actually, you know, when we want to sneeze, and then usually I turn off the microphone and the video and sneeze. But the other day, I was listening to a recording because I was searching for something, and it wasn't back to basics. It was another Zoom, and I noticed that actually Zoom cut out the sneeze, even though the microphone was on.
Oh, really?
So it's reassuring to know Zoom is our friend. Yes, Srila Gurudev. We couldn't actually hear the noise. Zoom does very well.
Oh, good. Okay. Maharaj, Dandava Kumkum Didi, Paramananda Prabhu, and all the sweethearts here tonight. It's been a few weeks since I was able to attend all the different things going on. Maharaj, I don't know if I keep looking in my pocket, but I don't seem to have anything in there. I mean, I just, can you, was there a topic that we were speaking of? Because I heard the end of what Paramananda Prabhu was saying about, Srila Prabhupada's sannyas and so on. Was there
we had been talking, or Paramananda Prabhu had been talking about Vishwarup. Prabhu is Vishwarup Mahotsav on this side of the world.
Yes.
But your Sri Lanka, if you have nothing in your pocket, here are some tissues you can put them.
Thank you. Oh golly, my voice. Anyway, I'm really happy, and I was just talking to Sudarshan today also about this. It's so nice to know that Kumkum Didi is there, and you are really a phenomenon, Didi. So really, I mean, a little bit older in age, a little bit, and suddenly June, just got rid of everything, sold your house, moved to another country, and into Vilagovinda Ashram. It's just a wonderful thing. And it's really making me very happy to know that you're there and so happily situated. And and of course, I'm sure I've already told you that anyway. And Maharaj, my mind is a little bit of a blank, and I feel so silly right now.
Have you heard Srila Prabhupada talk about his sannyas? Because today it's his sannyas day, apparently. And so maybe you've heard something in that regard when being with Srila Prabhupada or hearing his talks.
I don't remember ever hearing anything directly from Srila Prabhupada about taking sannyas, except that he, he was already becoming very much involved with the preaching work, and he was losing interest in business. Everything was going away on that side of things. And he told us one story. I don't know, maybe this was already mentioned, but he said he came home one day, his business was failing, and it wasn't, he was, this preaching side of his, life was really coming out. And he came home and his wife had sold his Bhagavatams so that they could afford tea. Maybe this is already something that was mentioned.
No, not yet mentioned. We only just touched on this point that also Srila Prabhupada's sannyas day, as well as the Vishwarup Mahotsav. So
I didn't know
all the leelas that you know, happily.
Well, that he explained to us, and that was just kind of the, I don't know if I should say the last straw, but was the Lord's, he felt that the Lord was indicating, no, you really, this is the point where you can just leave this situation. This first, that his wife was not at all on the same page as Srila Prabhupada, and the way his life was, coming out, being expressed in his preaching work. And he thought, well, I'm leaving my children, but he said, just see how many children the Lord has given me. And we were like big room full of disciples and all that. But that was, and then he left home and of course went to Radha Damodar Temple, and there he was doing so much divine work and so on. I think that's pretty well known in history, and then decided it's time now, I have to do this thing. Because Srila Saraswati Thakur had asked, you were an educated young man, go to the West. And it had been some years, maybe 30 years before. And so he thought, no, this is the sign, I'm going to go now. And as we know, all those wonderful things, how he endured everything. And well, what can we say? So much quantity and so much quality, so much quantity of preaching all over the world. And yet he didn't compromise in quality. What he's given us, we're still reading all those things in Chaitanya. Every day we're reading his Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and he gave us Upadesamrita, Nectar of Devotion, and so many wonderful things. Sri Upanishad was one of the earliest books he gave, which is very surprising in some way, but he really wanted us to have this book. And so much, and all in the line of Rupa Saraswati. It's really such a miracle. I think that when we become really fully aware of what happened there to the world, I think that as time goes on, we're just getting a glimpse really of the miracle that Srila Prabhupada performed. And Guru Maharaj said it's not possible for a human being. It was not possible for a human being to do what he did in 10 years. Not possible. In quantity and in quality. So, and we can certainly talk more about that. And then, of course, we've just been, so much worshiping Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and how, and all of his contribution. Again, that's also oceanic. We can't approach, I don't feel that we can approach an actual drop of the ocean of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's contribution. And then he prayed for someone who will take that and bring it to the world. And of course, Srila Saraswati Thakur came completely fanatical for Mahaprabhu. And Guru Maharaj said, Srila Saraswati Thakur always appears with Mahaprabhu. Every time Mahaprabhu appears in this form, this Rasaraj Mahabhav form, Saraswati Thakur comes and he completely distributes that. So here we are, and now Haridas Thakur's disappearance day now just coming to an end here, and the full moon is rising there. And, hearing about that. And Srila Krishna Kaviraj, we just read a few days ago, Srila Krishna Kaviraj said that even Ananta Shesha, with his thousands of mouths, speaking constantly about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, will never be able to come to the end of what Mahaprabhu did of his pastimes in one day. So this whole conception of infinite, we simply have to let go and allow, try not to control. It's very difficult for us, but we have to try to, Guru Maharaj said, live in the plane of inspiration. Always be asking, what is my service? What wonder are you doing? And how am I to contribute to that? Instead of this constant resistance that is my nature and habit to do. But he can remove all of that false resistance, all this nonsense. He can remove all of our prejudices that have really nothing to do with who we are. He can remove them. In fact, the whole wave of reality can conquer those things very quickly through surrender. So we talk about these things a lot, and then we have to, go and sit down and actually do the work. The homework. We hear the theory, we love it, and then and then we have to face, not face, but come, the environment is coming to really actually do that. And we're just trying to bow down patiently and wait and see what is that next step. And so many things we will face. And it's good. It's all good if we have good association. We will keep marching, just keep marching in this beautiful caravan of fortunate souls. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking of.
Beautiful, Vikotria. Are you satisfied?
So happy to hear you. It has been a long time. And I can just add that this contribution, when you know someone like Srila Gurudev, and Paramahansa Prabhu Maharaj and so many others here who make such a contribution from Srila Gurudev and from Srila Prabhupada and from Srila Guru Maharaj, we must always heed. We will be such gainers. For example, the point I hear from Sri all the time, especially when I get to have more frequent conversations with her or hear her speak. more often is about the depth of Krishna is in control of every single thing. And the quicker we simply bow down to that, the better off we are. And I'm paraphrasing her, of course. She says it so beautifully. It's poetry. And regarding my move here, which astounds me, but it's a huge thing, actually. But because of hearing this an awful lot, these points, and she makes them with such depth, it was just huge. In the very beginning, it was an awful lot like I decided to get on a roller coaster, and that was very rocky, but it became smoothed out right away because of the impact of constantly hearing this point. And so it's not just that we hear it and we say we believe it, but if we hear it constantly, we begin to go deeper and deeper with it and act like it must be true. And then we start to understand that how friendly the environment is in an astounding way. So all of these very high truths, no matter what, I'm very grateful that I get to hear them in the association of those Vaishnavas who know for sure and for certain. This is our teaching.
Now we're all hearing that from you, Didi. And actually, no, it's true. And, you know, it's not an easy process. Facing, because we don't even know what's going on. We're so conditioned, you know, and then something is coming to take that off, to take that away. One other level, one level, and we don't realize how much even our enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness, how much that's dependent on something relative, you know, like our health, for example. Say our health takes a little dive, and then suddenly we're feeling, oh, I'm not so enthusiastic anymore, or something like that. Not realizing this is good for me. Let me see that I'm dependent on something which is not really an integral part of what surrender is. And so all these clever things that the Lord knows how to show us, it's really astonishing how clever, how charming, really. And other times, you know, we really have to keep a steady confidence that even something that's happening that really can throw me off, that if I can just bow down, I will really understand that this is very, very helpful for my spiritual progress. It's so essential for us to remember this. And then when we see a leaf going this way or this way, we can see, oh, that's a charming thing. And it's all being done by the Lord. We don't even know the depth of the movement, how profound and infinite, how wondrous is every movement. And the reason, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start on again, but it's just the hearing this, that so many pastimes are happening in one day of Mahaprabhu's Leela, that no one can recount them. So we want to start to live in the plane of the infinite. And Gurudev said, and I think I've quoted this before, but it's a little picture that I downloaded from the internet, probably on Facebook about 100 years ago. And it goes with this little picture, but I want to frame this picture. Anyway, Gurudev is saying, everything is divine, but we cannot see this, but we must come to the plane of consciousness. Unconsciousness is only caused by offense. We are an offender. We're like Ravana. We can't see Sita, don't know who Sita is, but trying to kidnap. We're trying to enjoy the divine atmosphere. And so there's a shadow over our vision, because that's offensive. So we are trying to rectify that. And it's not an easy job, and we need our friends, really. And Madhusudan Maharaj is a friend of the whole world. It's really a treasure to be able to come and sit here in the same room with Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, really always extending his heart, his friendliness, his enthusiasm, and his extreme encouragement to all of us. So, what do you want?
As Srila Gurudev would say, you are too much kind, too much generous with your thoughts. But your words also meant for my encouragement and for the encouragement of us all. As you were saying, everything is happening for a purpose. So we appreciate the encouragement and support. And what Srila Prabhupada gave, he gave us everything. He gave the world everything. Because we have that song which Guru Maharaj and Gurudev repeatedly quote about Jadi Gorana Hoto, then what would have been if Mahaprabhu had not come? But what would have been if Srila Prabhupada had not come, if Srila Guru Maharaj had not come, if everywhere, if Srila Gurudev had not come, as well as if Mahaprabhu had not come, we would be really in quite a different situation, different mentality and everything. And by the way, nothing happens by chance. I heard this from Sri Lanka. I'll get to know it by one day. And the day before yesterday, by chance, I have on my computer, on Krishna's computer, which I'm in my care, then I just came across a folder of Srila Prabhupada history pictures. And what are these pictures? They're pictures in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, and Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, he's taken sannyas, and then some older pictures. There's maybe, I think, 8 pictures here. And if I can, I'll share the screen. See if I can share the screen. Oh, desktop preview. Share. Okay. I'm not accustomed to doing this, but you can see there a picture of Srila Prabhupada.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, and see if I can. I don't know how to get. Do you only see the picture of Srila Prabhupada, or are you seeing the whole screen?
So we're seeing all the devotees in front of him, Guru Kripa Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. Okay, perfect. So this is at the Radha Damodar temple, and this is beside Rupa Goswami's samadhi, and between, I think, between his samadhi and his bhajan kuti. I have a little interruption on my screen here. I'm looking on Facebook, and on Facebook, and then Madhava Prabhu, Avdandabat, Devi Shakti Devi Rasi, Avdandabat, and others on Facebook, and I'm not able to see who, but to all of you on Facebook and all of you on Zoom and in the recorded version, we are appreciating your presence. But I'm looking at the photo here. It's the Radha Damodar temple, and Srila Prabhupada clearly giving class there. And look at the tape recorders beside him, the microphone, the wire, the tree. All right, let's see whether we can. All right, there we are. Jai, dignified Srila Prabhupada. Jai. And here doing parikrama, and within the Radha Damodar temple, I'm pretty sure, and on the right side, it's all in the way. I see more on my screen, so part of it's being covered, so it's a little difficult for me to understand the exact location. But it's parikrama within the Radha Damodar temple, we can say. And here is Srila Prabhupada in his room in the Radha Damodar temple. And this room now has been very much not only preserved, but improved, replastered, painted, etc. And that window at the end now is not exactly daylight directly outside. There's another add-on room there. And there you see Srila Prabhupada seated on the right. It's not a clear picture, but it's Srila Prabhupada with the devotees. And he's on the right and quite red, sort of blending the saffron color, blending with the very saffron tinge of the photo. And this is very holy place for all the devotees. And there is a carved in marble just outside his door as you enter into there now. There is an expression, I think, more or less word by word, but it may be slightly different, that I always remain in my rooms in the Radha Damodar temple. Something like this, that wherever he is, he's remembering this place. It's very dear to him. And when he stayed here after receiving sannyas, he stayed here in the Radha Damodar temple, this one. And this is where he doesn't know what the future will be, but he began his translation to Srimad Bhagavatam. And he would go up and down to Delhi for printing and living very poorly, very simply. And here in front of the Samadhi of Srila Rupa Goswami. And as we look at the picture on the left is the Bhajan Kuti. And there is a tree, and that tree now left its body quite some time ago, but they still maintain the sandy part where the tree had its roots, etc. And people go there and take sand and put it on their head, and Srila Prabhupada on the right. Hare Krishna, so wonderful. And this is Srila Prabhupada's kitchen, but at this time it looks like it wasn't his kitchen. And through that little window on the left is, you can see from where the seat is on the right, that's where Srila Prabhupada would sit. We've seen pictures of him there. And looking out of that window, and through that little window, you can see just very close, just near, is Srila Rupa Goswami's Samadhi Mandir. But this became his kitchen, but we can see where the books are on the shelf there in the corner, then that's where we've seen pictures of Srila Prabhupada with his stove and cooking there. And as far as we can understand, this is Srila Prabhupada with the darker colored chadar with his back against the wall with the row of dignitaries there, and Srila Prabhupada on the left, as far as we can understand. Hare Krishna. Very simple wall. Oh, that's the last picture. So I've not seen these in many years. And actually, the pictures are dated here. You know how the file has a date. So, I mean, it's just dated at 2002. So it may well be 23 years since I saw these pictures, believe it or not. Amazing what's hiding on our computers. Or maybe it just came because of Srila Prabhupada something, which I didn't know it was his sannyas day until Chintamani shared the news with us today. Hare Krishna. Any questions from anybody or any additional contributions, things that you've read or heard from a good source, no doubt? Or unrelated? Maybe Rupa Nuga Prabhu, I see his fingers searching for Sri Krishna, reality the beautiful. Oh, now our computer's frozen. Hare Krishna. No question. Okay, well, dear devotees, and by the way, Anthony's still with us? Yes, Anthony's still with us in Bangkok, and he put a sweet comment in the chat box saying, Krishna leads the caravan up and down the beautiful sands of Maya. And this caravan being referred to, you mentioned the caravan, right? Or was it Sri Lanka? Mentioned caravan. Oh, it's Sri Lanka, yeah, because I was thinking, in the previous days, a caravan isn't, you know, some luxury thing you tow on the back of your car. It was a procession of the mules and the horses and everything. And she's in Salt Lake City. It's not very long ago that from the East Coast, then if you wanted to come over to Salt Lake City and come over to California, they would have to cross America through the unknown, through the bandits and through all kinds of things, and survive with food from nature. And you know, they didn't know supermarkets and all these things, which is now like automatically we go into the 7-Eleven and, you know, buy whatever we need. But they crossed in these caravans with their, you know, the husbands, wives, children, grandparents, animals, whatever it was, and they crossed from the East Coast to the West. But they made a journey into the unknown. And so this idea of the caravan is that we are making this journey, but we've got the leader who knows the way. We've got Srila Prabhupada, we've got Srila Guru Maharaj, we've got Srila Gurudev, and they're leading this caravan through all kinds of dangers, known and unknown, going into the unknown. And so that example is also very helpful for us, because you have to have faith. And everything is based on faith. And then those on the East Coast at that time, they have faith that over in the far West, there's gold in them there hills. And they're going motivated by material purpose. But they have faith and they go in that direction. And so we are a little like that. It's kind of an analogy for our journey, that we have faith that really there is treasure over there in those hills. And where, but we're not talking about California, we're talking about Govardhan Hill and the land of Goloka, Vrindavan. And that we've got the guides who are taking us through and along the journey. But when people for material gain, they risk so much and put their faith, then just think about for spiritual gain, how really we must put our faith and risk, if you like, but we have that faith. They will guide us properly and keep us safe. Yes. Bhima Krishna has a hand up, but Sri Lanka did. Yes, please say.
Oh, Maharaj, I was just going to, excuse me, Bhima Prabhu, I'd like to hear. Just quickly, can you hear me?
Yes, I couldn't hear what you said, though.
Oh, I was just apologizing to Bhima Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
For interrupting him. But I wanted to just, if you don't mind, a little word of caution about something.
Please, yes.
Someone said something recently that I heard, quoting AI.
Oh.
About Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and comparing them in a, I'm not even going to repeat it. I'm not going to say it. But just don't ask AI anything about Krishna or about Vaishnavas. AI is not actually intelligence. It's just a search engine. And whoever is programming it, you just don't even do that. You know, we have a treasure chest of the most inconceivably rare books that have ever been known in the universe. This is not exaggeration. It is an actual Siddhantic truth. It's an ontological fact It can be analyzed. There's all evidence. So please be careful not to go wandering around in the AI world or Google or anything, unless you're looking for, looking for a quote from actual printed books, like Bhagavatam or something like that. Don't go wandering around. You will become very bewildered. And this was really a shocking thing. It was referring to something so esoteric. It was just awful to hear. So I don't criticize, as was young doesn't know, we tried to explain to that. And another thing is, don't come into groups where they're at all, listen to anything where someone is thinking that their service is causing an actual emotional response in the divine world. This is a very sentimental, foolish idea. Sometimes we're hearing something about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but never to think that what I'm doing is having some effect there. That's also a rather common kind of foolishness. Do you follow? Someone said, oh, if I'm doing this, then Radharani is smiling and quoting some book that we've never been given to read. And so I'm sorry to bring up anything negative at the end of this wonderful thing. It's not negative, actually. It's positive. Here's where we live. We be chased to this perfection and not to go wandering around, because we'll be sidetracked. Is that okay, Mars? I'm sorry if I said something.
This is not negative, this is positive, because Gurudev always saying, but is one umbrella of the Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj. Stay in our channel, stay on the tracks. All of these things he's emphasizing so much. And it is good you mentioned this, because I only was introduced to AI like very recently. Yeah. And then I was also cautious about what it comes up with, but I would never ask it to compare like to great souls or something, but you can see the danger, because people believe what they read.
Yeah.
And as I've mentioned before, I've met the authors of some books, which are, famous person who's written these books about spiritual life. Within 3 minutes, you just want to find some other association. You think, who is the author? So first we need to try to see who is the author. Then we will pay attention or not. And not somebody who's, really can't even catch the ABC of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev when they're writing books. But because it's in black and white, somehow we feel that, oh, it's written here, it's here. So now the internet is kind of taking that place, can do. So it is positive to point out, stay on the track. And we don't even want to go near the kind of things which can be said, which are said by others, and now, of course, being said by AI, because it's connecting to what others say all over the web. So I don't know much about it. I'm not an authority on AI, but I can say we also need to receive everything from heart to heart. And we are lagu, we are light. We can be converted that sugar is bad for you to sugar is good for you in a moment. Okay, but sugar's a bad idea, maybe, but all sorts of things.
And Srila Prabhupada told us from the beginning, he said, if a wise person is searching for gold, the first thing he's going to find out is, who do I find it from? Who has gold? Not that everybody has gold. And I've got $1,000. I want to buy some gold. You walk into a bar, and some guy's going to say, I got some, or $10,000 or $100,000. You'd be so foolish. So we know who to hear from. We found where the gold is. Now, not to take our money and go wandering around with it, then we will be cheated for sure. It's too fine. This subject is so fine. It's not just lying around on the roads or in the garbage pails.
Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev, I'd like to add one more point. This is very, very important for spiritual understanding. And when we do have the proper sources, we have our gurus and their extensive comments, which we can easily access and have real association with by their divine connection. And regarding AI, I've had the benefit of having this technically explained to me by someone of more than 30 years of serious software development, and that is Bharat Chandra. And I can't tell you, if you want to ask somebody about AI, this is nothing more than quickly, very, very quickly putting together all sorts of facts that have some, like Srila was saying, it's a search engine. So there'll be some sort of connection between many thousands of facts, and they can put those together so quickly, and they can order that their results are at the very top of what is returned to us. And it honestly has very little to do with intelligence. So it's almost everything to do with artificial. And it's such a shame, especially at least for spiritual life. We can't take it as answers. We can have answers.
Yeah.
And that is what we want, genuine answers, not what a robot.
From the soul of a Vaishnava, from the heart of a Vaishnava.
Yeah, that's our necessity.
Sorry.
And Bhima Krishna, over time, but we are happy to hear.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Kumkum Didi, and the Sri Lanka Didi. That was just and everybody else, pardon me, my offense as always. I was just going to say that was a beautiful segue, because if you want to find some real truth between the relationship of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, I wasn't going to say anything, but I just did want to share, because I was listening to this today, but Chinmoy Dev Prabhu posted the video of, it's the Chandradoya Mandir inauguration, I believe, and they have Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada speaking with each other, and they're talking about their relationship early on, and it's really beautiful. Just to hear the enthusiasm, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he preaches with such vigor, and like, you hear him speaking on his veranda so softly, but to hear him preach and talking about the glories of Srila Prabhupada, it's really sweet. But one thing he said the thing that separates us from all the other religions, he goes, is the religions, we're not just practicing on Sunday. He goes, we're not just practicing 3 days or 5 days. He says, we're practicing 24 hours a day. And he says, how do we do that? He says, kirtaniyah, sada, hari. And anyway, it's just very beautiful. I was thinking about what Sri Lanka is saying. We have all this theory, but when we apply this practically in our lives, like it can become a challenge. But another thing that Srila Prabhupada said on that actual video too is he says that none of this is because of me. He goes, it's all the Guru and Vaishnavas. Like, that's why he was able to come and preach. He said it's all the mercy of Guru and the Vaishnavas. And I feel the same way, like, in my own practicing personal life. I get lost, every day, every moment. It's just like, what am I doing with my life? But with devotees like you all, we can stay focused, and we have some direction. Obviously Srila Gurudev and Guru Maharaj in the books, but also just the living devotees too. So anyway, I just wanted to offer that anyone who hasn't seen it, and please give my dandavats to Chinmoy Dev Prabhu for his seva. They're such beautiful videos to see, Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj. But my dandavats to you all.
Okay, Bhima Krishna, we will indeed, and actually we're constantly, I can't say daily, but constantly sharing with him appreciation from ourselves and from the devotees. And with those captions, then it helps a lot, because otherwise we're always stopping and starting the audio to explain what's being said. But by taking much effort and having some other devotees checking, then he's putting those captions there to help us along. And we know that devotees don't always hear properly what is being said by Guru Maharaj, by Gurudev, and by Srila Prabhupada probably also. So yes, thank you. And in the, or shouldn't say thank you, should we? It's on the same team, but appreciation. And in the chat box, Leela Moy Prabhu has put a YouTube link, which presumably is to that video, correct? Yes, Leela Moy Prabhu in silence because it's early in the morning in London temple and serving there. All right, dear devotees, very wonderful to be with each of you, and during this month of Sri Hari Smaran, but as Bhima Krishna pointed out just now, then Srila Guru Maharaj expressing it's not that it's only one day or so many days in a week or 1 month in a year. It is all the time continuous chanting the name of Krishna, kirtaniyah, sada, hari. And what is that chanting? Srila Guru Maharaj also explains that. We can read search for Sri Krishna in particular. The service mood, which means the association of the devotees, doing service, all these things. All right, dear devotees here on Zoom, here on Facebook, and on recorded versions, our appreciation to you all. And let us stay firmly in the track, knowing we've got this shelter of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, knowing that we've got the greatest gift ever, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's gift to the world. And that, as Sri Lekha pointed out, we have the absolute substance of the highest type coming through in the in any age, but we have it now in the modern age, in our own language, in the language of the world, in English. And we don't have to rely on scholarly interpretations of, is the sky is blue, does that mean something else? And look for, try to make an interpretation that the sky is actually not blue. Blue is a code word for something else. All kinds of interpretations come out. But Guru Maharaj and Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, as it is, giving us our Krishna consciousness. And a similar expression that Gurudev said about Srila Guru Maharaj, that now they are of our time. Srila Guru Maharaj is of our time, so people not giving him that recognition that he is due, but in course of time, those who are alert in the line, they will see the greatest contribution that Srila Guru Maharaj has made in the line of Mahaprabhu. So this is the caliber of guidance that we have, and it's there in black and white, in audio, and in the hearts, most of all, of the devotees. All right, dear ones around the world, our obeisances and appreciation, and our big jais to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisandha Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki jai, to Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, to Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Jai Shri Vishwarup Mahotsava ki jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada and his sannyas pastimes ki jai, and jai to Srila Prabhupada's grand preaching all over the world. Ki jai, Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitana, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo.
Jai Srila BR Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
And good to see each and every one of you. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj. And Sonia putting on her camera so we can see you. Hare Krishna, Govinda Govinda.
Hare Krishna.
All right, dear devotees, Ananda Sundari, stay positive. It is a positive world. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj. And you have heart good wishes of all the devotees. All right. Hari Dev Prabhu just turned on, but he was with us earlier doing seva and just returned for the last moment. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Amra Ashchi. We are coming.